If I had to move to Gainesville all over again, there are certain neighborhoods I would 100% be looking at. I know because I'm always asked this question when I'm helping buyers that are moving to Gainesville, and I always tell them what my favorite neighborhoods are. So I'm gonna share it with you, and I'm gonna share why. But stay to the end because I have a surprise for you at the end on a secret neighborhood that many people don't know about. Now, I understand that it is one thing to look at houses like on Realtor.com or Zillow. So there's something to be said about, even with this video, I really believe that you should always come to the area and check it out yourself. Try to spend 2 to 3 days so that you could see the traffic patterns, preferably like a weekday and maybe a weekend, so that you can see what the traffic patterns are like. You could check out the local areas and definitely drive around the neighborhoods and see what they are truly like, because video can be very deceiving. So my first neighborhood that I do absolutely love, it's called Longleaf. It's on the southwest side of town, and one of the reasons that I love it is its proximity to the University of Florida and Shands Hospital. If you're a professor at the University of Florida or a student, or maybe you're in the medical field, then you're going to be happy to know that you are only 7 miles from the University of Florida and Shands Hospital. And if you're really into shopping, then you're going to be really happy to know that you're only between 3 and 5 miles to shopping. So you've got like Celebration Point and you've got Butler Plaza. If you can't find it there, you're probably not going to find it anywhere. If you want to be a little closer to home, then you're going to be happy to know that within 2 miles, you're going to have the Publix grocery store. And if you just want something to do on a Saturday, Hale Plantation has a farmer's market every Saturday. They open at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. I say get there early because the best stuff is going to go very, very fast. It is just a great way to spend a Saturday morning. One of my favorite things about the farmer's market is that pets are welcome. So we love to walk our dog along the Hale Farmers Market, mostly for socializing, but we love seeing all of our friends, and we like to see what the vendors have that day. Now, going back to distance, at Longleaf, you are only 15 miles to the airport, and it is zoned for A-rated schools. One of the best things about Longleaf is you're not on GRU. Yes, you get Clay Electric for your electricity, but if you're gonna have gas, sorry, you're still gonna have to be on GRU for the gas. Now, Longleaf itself as a community, it has 546 homes, and for us, that's a pretty big community in Gainesville. The homes were built between 2004 all the way to 2019. Most of them are single stories, but you will find some with a second floor. Majority of them do have a garage at the front, but there are many streets that are designed with a rear entry garage. Now keep in mind, if you are looking at a home with a rear entry garage, that garage is going to eat up a lot of your backyard. You'll still have a little backyard, so this is going to be great for that person that is looking to not have very much lawn maintenance. One of the other great things about Longleaf is that they take care of the front yard in your HOA. And speaking of the HOA, they have an amazing pool. I mean, the pool and the clubhouse is absolutely awesome. They have 2 tennis courts and a basketball court and many different walking trails. Many of the people that you're going to find living in Longleaf are either going to be professionals or people that are working at Shands Hospital. And that's because it's so close to the hospital. It's just pretty much that straight drive, which is only about 7 miles long. And it's conveniently located to all of that shopping that we discussed and those A-rated schools. Now, because of that, there were 26 homes that have already sold in 2026. Now, those homes sold between $324,000 and $545,000. There is a high demand to be in this area, whether you are buying or you are renting. And that's why I do love the area, is I don't see that if I ever had to buy a home and sell a home in here, that it would ever be an issue. Now, if this is an area that you are looking at, you are going to want to move quickly because homes here do not last very long. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Tammy Broxson. I also happen to foster kittens, and that's why we've got this loose wild one right here. I am a local real estate broker in the Gainesville area. I make these videos so that you can know what to expect from the neighborhoods if you are deciding that this is a place that you're going to want to live. I cover everything from drive times to amenities, pricing, and desirability of the area. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you will be first to know when a new video gets released. Now let's move to my second favorite neighborhood, and that is Oakmont. Oakmont is highly desirable by many medical professionals and also professionals. And that's because the homes in Oakmont are newer and there there are many homes that are still being built. Currently, there are 699 home sites, of which there are 94 lots that are still vacant. Now, most of these are owned by individuals, but there are still some that you can buy. And many of these lots are still owned by builders who are doing new construction. Oakmont community started in 2015. And one of the best things about it is if you ever get to see it in person, because videos are not going to do it justice, is the amenity center. The pool, the tennis courts, the clubhouse, like you just don't know exactly what you're getting until you're actually there. And that is why so many people buy it, is because you don't need like a separate gym membership. You don't need to have a pool membership. You don't need to have a tennis court membership. It's all right there. The great thing, you are only 10 miles if you need to jump on the interstate. And if you've got to catch a flight, then you're only 16 miles to the airport. Now, if you wanted to go towards Jonesville/Newberry and you wanted to go to town of Tioga, then that's only 4 miles away. And if you need to get to work at UF or Shands Hospital, then you're only 10 miles away. One of the reasons that many people like the area is because of the newer homes. Homeowners that are looking to not have to worry about making any kinds of repairs or updates or upkeep, this is where they want to live. The area is so desirable that 52 homes have already sold in 2026. And they sold between $405,000 all the way up to $1.5 million. So you're going to see the whole gamut from entry-level homes all the way to luxury homes. And if you like to be outdoors, you are really going to love the fact that there are so many sidewalks and walking trails. Because of its desirability, this is another area that if I wanted to buy or sell quickly, I would feel confident in my purchase and that I would be able to move the house very quickly if I needed to. Also, if I decided that I wanted to move out of the area, but I wanted to keep the house, there is a good demand for rentals in this area. But don't think you're going to open an Airbnb here, because that's not allowed. Now, this next area, if money was no object and I could just throw it into the wind and not care at all, this is where I would absolutely want to live. And that is Estate of Wilds Plantation and Wilds Plantation. This community doesn't have any amenities to speak of because most homes in this area already have their own pool, and many homes, because they're so large, usually already have some sort of room for their fitness center. To me, this is just a hidden gem. There are only 223 home sites in this neighborhood. And of that 223, there are only 4 vacant lots. So if you want to build in there, you're going to have to get hold of one of those owners to be able to buy their lot. Homes here range between 2,400 square feet in the older section all the way up to 6,000 square feet. And the lots range anywhere from about 4 acres up to 6 acres. The home started being built in 2003, and they're still building in Estate of Wilds Plantation up until 2023. This area is highly sought after by professionals and medical. If you like being outdoor, then you are going to love the trails. And one of the best things is Estate of Wilds Plantation and Oakmont actually connect by a street. So the same distance that I gave you earlier for the airport, the interstate, and the University of Florida, they're pretty much exactly the same. Because this is such a hidden gem, it has very good turnover. There is great turnover in Estate of Wilds Plantation and Wilds Plantation. There have been 6 homes that have sold year to date in 2025, and they range between $473,000 all the way up to $1,350,000. Now, the smallest home that sold was just around 3,200 square feet, and the largest house was 4,977 square feet. If this is an area that you are looking at, you are going to love the detail of the homes here. The finishes are absolutely amazing, and there are no 2 homes that are alike. In the other 2 communities that I talked about, there are many homes that are the same floor plan. They just change the elevation. You won't find that here at all. Now, I told you that if you stay with me until the end that I would have a secret location for you. I told you where I would want to live if I were moving to Gainesville and I could pick any place that I want to live. But let me tell you where I actually live and why I live there. I live in a community that is called Sugarfoot. I always find that it's called Sugarfoot because if you go by the deeds, it's called Englewood. So I don't know why they just didn't call it Englewood, but the sign at the very, very front is called Sugarfoot. Now in Sugarfoot, there are only 345 homes. Most of them were built between 1950 and 1997. There is one home in the community that was built in 1900, and there are 4 homes that were built after 2000. Now, this is a much older area because it's very close to the University of Florida, and therefore many of the houses here can be smaller. The smallest house is just over 1,000 square feet, and the largest home is 4,272 square feet. There are not many homes that come up for sale in this area, and when they do go quickly. It is a desirable area because of its proximity to the University of Florida and the hospital. Year to date in 2025, there have only been 8 home sales. Now remember, that's not because it's not desirable, that's just because there's not that many that come up for sale. The least expensive home sold for $300,000, and that was pretty much a fixer-upper, and the most expensive home sold for $524,000. Now, some of the best things about this neighborhood is it's in the middle of Gainesville. We are about 3 to 4 miles from anything in any direction. If I want to go to the University of Florida or the hospital, I'm less than 4 miles. If I want to go to the interstate, I am less than 4 miles. Now, if I want to go to town of Tioga, all right, I got a whopping 6 miles to get there. Now let's cover a couple of the cons of living in Sugarfoot. Did I tell you that it's close to the University of Florida? Well, sometimes on game days, traffic can be a little tough around the neighborhood, just trying to get in and out because we're so close to the University of Florida. Also, we are very close to Hogtown Creek and some conservation area, so we have a lot of flood areas right around us. Our house isn't in a flood zone yet, but I am watching the flood waters creep up to our house, so I give it 3 years and we'll actually be in a flood zone. Another con for me personally of Sugarfoot is the fact that the ceilings are only 8 feet. And for somebody who wants a really, really tall Christmas tree, you can't get a tall Christmas tree when your ceiling height is 8 feet maximum. Also, being an older home, we have a ranch style layout, and every home in the area needs to be updated if it's not already updated. So for example, when we bought our house, it was awful. It was truly awful. We needed to do everything to the house, and we did. Got a good deal on it, but that's because we had to put in all brand new plumbing. We had to upgrade the electrical. We needed to put on a roof. We had to change out all the flooring, and we had to remodel the 2 bathrooms and turn a closet into a half bath just to have more space. Oh, we also remodeled the kitchen as well. So in this area, it's not likely that you're gonna find a house that's been completely remodeled. What you're gonna find are houses in different stages of remodeling. Now, if you're gonna buy in this area, you do wanna be careful because they are older homes. So you're gonna be looking for things like your plumbing, your electrical, your HVAC, your water heater, and your roof. If you're gonna buy in this area, please use a real estate professional that absolutely knows the area so that you don't end up buying a house that's going to end up costing you thousands of dollars to update. Now, the pros of buying in this area are we have Green Acres Park right behind us. Like, we can walk 5 streets and we're in Green Acres Park, which is a city park, and we love to go to the parks and we like to walk our dogs and just be out in nature. North of us is Loblolly Park, and we love to go to Loblolly Park as well. So between being close to everything and being centrally located to many, many different parks, for us, that is just a dream. Now, you might be wondering, if I don't like the 8-foot ceilings and I like the 3 other communities that I told you about, why do I live here? I will tell you why. Because I have no emotional attachment to any house, and we bought this house as an investment property to turn it into a rental for people who wanted to live and go to the University of Florida. My husband works at the University of Florida. So while we were living in the house doing our rehab and he got used to how close the drive was to work, he made the mistake that you never make when you're investing. You never fall in love with the house, and he fell in love with the house. And now that he's in love with the house, we can't move. But if he ever decides to change jobs or quit working, the first thing we're gonna do is rent this house out, and we're gonna move to one of those other 3 communities. So what about you? If you're moving to Gainesville, where do you want to live? And when you're ready to move to Gainesville, I would love to help you find the right neighborhood just for you. Click the link in the description below and let's connect. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.